Oh man, welcome to what? Yep, let's do it again.
Yeah, no, keep it in. This is how the whole world feels. Just try to figure it out, Beads.
Woo! This is a podcast we are about to do for you about stuff. Let's do it. The whole thing's going to be what did I miss? Because quite frankly, I feel like I'm living in a bubble made of crap. So, first topic. Let's figure this out. The NBA draft actually happened, you guys, since the last time we saw each other. And I will say this, and I mean it. It feels like it was 6 years ago. Am I being dramatic? No, I'm not. I don't even barely remember it, and I watched every second of it. So please enlighten me. NBA draft, what is happening? What is going on? Gabe, you're up.
Yeah. What did I miss? Because I swear I've had, like you said, I've had several days to try to figure this out. What did the Knicks do? Like, what? Every time I looked at my phone, I grew up a Knicks fan, so I'm getting the alerts. Every time I look at my phone, it's like a new trade, but they're just trading things they recently traded. So
Yep.
do I have this right? Kemba Walker's off the Knicks. They've got like everyone's picks from now until the end of time. They don't have anything to show for it right now. Some people think this was brilliant. Most people think this was completely idiotic. What the hell do I make of this?
First of all, who thinks it's brilliant? See, the only way a move like this could be deemed brilliant is based on who pulled it off. So if you get a team that's very like, look, I'm not even trying to be a homer right now, but the Spurs have figured out some pretty cool things to do during drafts, right? This one also included. But I would be like, oh, they're up to something. They know what they're doing. If it's the Knicks or the Sacramento Kings or at this point the Thunder, then no, you don't get to ever be called brilliant. I have no idea what the Knicks are doing. It's almost like they're just trolling us, but not even doing it very sneakily. Like, it's angering to me. I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm a New York City fan, and it bothers me so much that is the laughingstock of so many things, and it should be one of the greatest places for sports, period. So I don't know, Gabe. I don't know what they did.
Okay.
They did stuff.
Well, then, all right, then let's save everyone the headache of talking about the Knicks. Can we talk about the first couple of picks, which I think were a little bit more interesting? So Patrick Mahomes went 1, and then Chet Holmgren went 2.
Yeah.
Give me some basketball analysis of those picks and everything that came after.
Well, the only thing I knew was that going into the draft, like an hour before, it was still supposed to be Jabari Smith number 1. And I think Jabari Smith also was under the assumption that he was going to go number 1. Jabari Smith was also the only one of those 3 gentlemen who got the assignment on not to dress like a clown ass. So that was cool. But it seemed to be shocking. It was also the moment in which I learned Matt Miller is Paolo Banchero's agent. That Matt Miller, or Mike Miller, like that is the thing that happened.
Really?
That night. Yeah. Because I was like, why is Mike Miller hugging? And
Florida
then
Mike Miller?
I like Orlando Magic Mike Miller.
I remember him from Florida.
Well, yeah, like that guy. Or do you
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's his agent. And apparently he's his first client.
Wow.
I'm so
Yeah.
confused. Wait a minute. We're
I
talking
was
about
confused too.
the dude
Right?
with the hair and the tats played with the
No,
Heat
that's
for a while?
Birdman. That's
No.
Chris Anderson.
I'm not thinking of him. I'm thinking of
What?
Mike Miller. Played at Florida.
Yeah, kind of has like a round face.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike
he was
Miller.
a shooter.
Played at Florida.
Yeah.
He is an agent now.
Well, this
He
is
was
he was
the first one to hug Paolo Banchero, which made me confused. So then I had Googled it, and it's former Memphis assistant Mike Miller finds NBA draft success as number 1 pick is his client.
That's
How
a hell of
crazy
a
is
way
that?
to start your career.
I know. He's the president of Lift Sports Management.
Okay.
I learned a lot in about the first 45 seconds of the draft. It was really weird. But yeah, I look, I think drafts are funny because we have no idea what anybody's going to turn out to be. And we spend an entire year leading up to it. And there are people whose entire house payments are made on draft knowledge. And yet we don't know. I stand by I don't think Chet Holmgren's anything. And I might be the biggest ass when it's all said and done. You can snap him with a cool breeze. Like, I don't find this person to be any kind of threat, any kind of intimidation factor. I know he says all the cocky words, but I'm not buying any of it. I will laugh. I hope Jabari Smith ends up being the best of the 3 because he was, you could tell he was pissed. Like, he was very good about hiding it, but he was definitely keeping in mind like everyone that just got drafted before me, and I will remember this for the rest of my career. So I'm rooting for him, and I think the Spurs had a good night. That's all. Yeah, so unlike the Knicks game, I do know what the Spurs were doing, and I feel good about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to assume the Spurs are they're going to draft somebody who less people talk about but becomes a better player. That's just like how it's been for 20 years.
Yep.
I don't understand the Holmgren thing though. Like why isn't the eye test a little bit more of like how this stuff is informed? Like, I'm not making fun of the kid. I certainly am like a skinny dude, but that's why no one picks me first when we play pickup ball. Like why would you want me on your team, you know?
I don't know. I don't. Chet Holmgren's an interesting experiment because people will mock you if you say anything negative about him, like, oh, you clearly didn't watch all season. Well, no, yeah, we didn't. I'm doing the eye test. You know, that thing that we all talk about all the time. He does not pass it. And so even if he were to put on 100 pounds, which I don't see, that's not going to be likely. And by the way, am I jealous of his metabolism? Of course I am. And I will be for the rest of my life. I once had that metabolism when I was in my 20s. But there's a difference in college versus what you're about to go up against. Like, Joel Embiid is a different animal than what you are used to dealing with. So I just don't think this is going to work. And I could be wrong. The first moment I saw him during March Madness, I was like, no. And so here we are, and we'll find out what happens. But I also think his fashion sense is whack. I think whoever dressed he and Banchero should be taken outside and talked to sternly, because those were hideous outfits. One looked like Babadook, and the other one looked like somebody's like related to Prince, and I couldn't get it, and not in a good way. Not in a good way. You had rhinestones on your pants, son. We don't do that.
Good for the content now and in 10 years.
And he was dropping rhinestones all over the room, apparently, because people kept picking them up.
Oh, no.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, of course.
Leaving a trail.
Dangerous.
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah, it was like, it's crazy. But yeah, draft was good. I'm excited to see what happens. Pendants are back. I did learn that. I hope you guys were paying attention. Big ass pendants were back.
Oh, I did not notice.
There were more than 6. Very, very flashy, iced out.
What's the difference between a pendant and a brooch?
A brooch is like a pin, like goes like on your lapel, old lady jacket, whatever.
They're not
a pendant
the same
is
at all.
off of a necklace.
Like a chain.
Yeah, a brooch could be worn as a pendant,
Very
but
true.
I don't believe a pendant can necessarily
Not
be worn as a
all
brooch
brooches are
because the pin's not
pendants, but
included.
all pendants are brooches. Or the reverse of that.
Yes.
It's like a square rectangle.
It's like a rhombus
situation.
square. I got it,
Yeah.
except I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for
Okay.
no one knows what's happening right now at all. But yeah, NBA draft's come and gone. We did it. Stanley, God, a lot of things wrapped up this week. We are officially in the dead man zone of summer, are we
are.
not? Or is that after Summer League?
No, I think
I
it's
don't know,
now. I think
'cause you're
Summer
about
League's
to
part
talk
of
about
it.
the Stanley Cup.
I'm not about to talk about the Stanley Cup. Somebody else.
I'm
is.
about to talk about the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
Look, I've been a huge Avs fan. You guys know this about me. Huge Avs fan since the beginning of this series. And I'm psyched for my guys. Couldn't be more excited. It only took them, I think, 45 minutes to dent the Stanley Cup, which was perfect.
That's pretty good. That's actually
Yeah.
pretty good.
But my real question is,
How
do
do
we
you
think the
dent the
Stanley Cup... Well, it's a great video. You should watch it. But they're about to take this team photo, and I forget who's holding it, but he's like skating up to join them and kind of trips, and then you can just see it just like doink down. Yeah, and it's dented. But
An LJ player tripped on the ice. That's awesome.
yeah, he was just so excited.
As he should be.
Yep.
Oh, you could ask if it's the best trophy or the best
Yes.
or the best tradition?
Best trophy.
I guess. I don't know. Gabe hates it. Look at his face. But
I
will say, well, which one's better then? How about that?
Oh, I don't have any alternative to the Stanley Cup. I just think the whole mystique around the Stanley Cup has been overrated. They each get to spend a day with it. Oh, cool. Like, look, here's the picture of the guy with the newborn taking a bath in it. Here's the other guy chugging a beer out of it. Like, I got it, guys. Come up with
it is
something
gross.
original.
It is gross. I want to know the stuff that gets done that we don't get to hear about. I don't give a shit about you drinking beer out of it. Tell me about the nasty things that are going on with that cup there, ladies and gents.
You want like a
feel like you
secret
know
nanny
something.
cam on the...
I think we all can assume some real gross stuff goes down with the Stanley Cup. Can we not? Am I the only one
we
here?
can more than assume. I think you know something, and I think you want to tell us.
I really don't. I just know that we're talking about athletes. We're talking about men. We're talking about some are single, some are young. Probably some real gross things going on. Some real
counterpoint. They're all
things.
Canadian. I feel like they're all nice.
Nah, some are Russian and stuff. You don't know.
Not a counterpoint.
I don't know.
That only helps.
I feel like you just made my point for me 7 more times. Yeah, I want to know about those stories. Somebody must have written a book about those stories, right? Does that exist? If you're listening, please reach out and tell us where we can find the real dirt on the Stanley Cup. Because that's what I'm interested in.
Yeah, I'm not sure the guys who have those stories are like a bunch of Hemingways who are writing books. I think you'd be lucky if that was even a tweet. I think that's just the kind of stuff that gets told over a couple Labatt.
Damn, Labatts.
Oh, God.
But I also, there's the germaphobe in me that gets skeeved out a little bit by the Stanley Cup traditions. Because it is kind of like the drinking of things out of it after a baby's bottom's been in it. How clean can it be, though, really?
Oh, okay.
They are Canadians, you just said.
I know. That's true.
I want to see if we can insult an entire nation. Because when you're down, you bring everybody down with you. Let's go.
Sorry, Jerome.
Sorry, Jerome.
That's right. Race to the bottom.
Yeah, no. But it's the best trophy. I will say this. I cannot watch 1 second of a game. But I do love the whole, like, I don't know. I guess it's the cheesy end of a sports movie vibe where they, like, pass the cup and everybody does a skate and da-da-da. And it's like you sort of envision as this kid is doing this, like, oh my God, he's been on skates since he was probably 2 or 3 years old, blah, blah, blah. This has been like 20 years in the making. I don't know. It's a very Mighty Ducks kind of vibe to the way they do the whole thing. But it's over with. So now we're in the dead days of summer. What are we going to talk about, you guys? Are we just going to do this every week for the rest of our lives?
That's right.
This.
Well, we got plenty of things we can talk about. We got a lot of movies coming out this summer. We do have some actual interesting sports stories, and before we know it, we'll eat some hot dogs, maybe take a break for a minute, and then it'll be football season again.
That's
we'll
a great
be talking
point.
Football very, very soon.
And we still have F1. It's back next weekend.
We sure
So
do.
we have that going for us. Yeah, Yeah, we're good. We're back. Yeah. Also, did you have a favorite Avalanche player? I know that since you've been such a big fan, Paige.
You know, they're all my favorite. I can't just pick one. Yeah, I love them each so much individually.
I hate that.
It's when you don't have an answer.
That's right.
That's like, I could even give you an answer. If you put me on the spot and said, who's your favorite F1 driver? I could now answer that stupid question. I could tell you something about one guy if I had to. Give us a player, Paige. We're not leaving until you name a player.
Well, I'm just going to read off of what I wrote with my guy, Nizam Kadri, who told everyone to kiss his ass. And I love that so much.
Well, I don't know why he's mad. Like, I thought people loved it. Okay, so I'm confused because that quote is sort of lashing out. But I thought, and maybe this was my own sentiment, when he got hurt because Evander Kane is a bit of a douche, and we thought he wasn't even going to be able to finish playing out these playoffs, people were like, oh no, this is the worst thing that could happen. I didn't know people were saying he was a liability. Like, I had no idea. I was rooting for him because of all that. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
See the things that happen that we have no idea about because we don't watch hockey? Crazy.
We need Julie again.
All right.
I could step in for a little bit of the nonsense.
Yeah!
Canadian!
Defend Canada!
No, I know better to defend Canada in this group right here.
No,
But Nazem Kadri, another shout out, first Muslim player to win the Stanley Cup in history, which is very awesome. I think just the last couple of weeks around the injury and stuff like that, part of at least what him and his family was facing was like a lot of Islamophobic like comments
shocking.
and like very like directed and
in the state of Florida. That are you sure? Doesn't seem like a place where that would happen.
So I think this is kind of like a nice, FU back to them. And anyone else, like I think between that and definitely some skepticism around whether he would have any kind of like value to the team, I think all that put together kind of gives him this moment. So,
well, I'm happy for him.
I am
bummed.
too.
I was bummed when I thought he was out for the rest of the playoffs just because of a stupid play. I was like, that's not cool. But it's over with, Paige, and I'm so happy for you. Will you be attending the parade?
I don't think I'm going to make it to Colorado. Okay. Yeah. I was just in Utah, so.
Okay, well, let us know if you need I can get you an airline ticket. That's all I can offer you right now.
Okay, great.
It will not be first class, so I just want to make sure you. Okay, all right, perfect.
Awesome.
What else? The only good thing came out of the draft. I just skipped ahead because I just saw it. Gabe. I think
you want me to tee this up? But you skipped ahead.
It's my favorite thing though that has been done. Around the NBA draft.
Well, I'd like to say that this story is a good reminder to all of us to. You mentioned we're going to have some quieter weeks in the summer. Mm-hmm. I think it's time to officially start the petty playoffs.
Yes.
Start to really figure out who the pettiest person in sports is. And we have, here he comes, the form of a 16 seed going at the 1 right now. Yeah. Benedict Mathurin, I can't say his name correctly.
No, you nailed it. That was perfect.
I did? Okay, great. Yep. So he's number 6 overall. Pacers picked him. Came out guns blazing. Pew, 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 pew. Said, quote, I don't think anybody's better than me. LeBron will have to show me he's better than me. Get it, buddy. Beadle, you getting a Mathurin jersey?
Stevenson vibes right there, baby. I love it so much because when I read it like 3 times because I was like, surely that was not his first big quote out the gates, but it was. And I did a thing with our 3 rookies here in San Antonio on Saturday morning, and I asked them. I was like, before we're wrapping things up, I was like, does anybody here have any challenges they want to issue to like a LeBron James perhaps? And they were all 3 of them knew what this kid had said, and they were like, oh no, no, LeBron's great. LeBron's really great. Can't wait. Like, who does this before you've even put on an actual uniform? And like, don't get me wrong, it's awesome, and I'm sure it's a little tongue-in-cheek, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. He could just be this awesome. But I'm looking very much forward to a Mathurin-LeBron moment. Might be the first time I watch a LeBron game on purpose without it being force-fed down my throat by national media. So that'll be cool. Although I don't know if we're going to get Pacers-Lakers. That doesn't really scream sex. But we'll see. Love him. He's my new favorite player. So.
Are we sure this isn't like... They're kind of like actually buddies or share reps, or you think he just went at the king? He just was like, "Here comes."
I think this is the type of
like
thing.
A clutch sports kid? No.
I think this is the type of thing that a lot of these young guys, like, this level of confidence is what they should have, and they would say this maybe behind closed doors. I wouldn't necessarily recommend saying it publicly on the record, but like, I love this energy. You should think that you're the best.
I love it. Well, in fairness, Chet Holmgren, before the draft, was asked who the best player in the league is, and he said in a couple months, me.
I love that.
Chet Holmgren.
You need it.
It's smart. It's very social media savvy because, you know, the minute you utter those words, we all have it now on our phones. And so we're like, oh my God. So it's smart. It's part of this new generation. They get it. They understand the brand. Build the brand. The brand is built. What else? Are we taking a break?
Yeah, I think so. And then we got to hit more NBA and a bunch of really consequential topics, including Top Gun.
Oh, thank God. No, I'm definitely coming back. We'll be back. As the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people you want to interview faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Then add your job and the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile and spread the word that you're hiring so your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Beadle. That's linkedin.com/Beadle to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. We are back, and we went from the NBA draft, the young, the hopeful, the future stars, to this guy.
Yes, we're back with the old.
We have to talk about Kyrie. This is what we're going to talk about all offseason, is it? Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, listen, I just keep getting alerts. I want to read you the latest alert I got.
How many alerts do you have set up on your phone?
Well,
this is problematic.
This is the way it works for me now. I
Not
need
like
the
a Google
information
alert,
brought
right?
straight to me. This came out just a few minutes before we started recording. Not a Google alert. This is an alert on my iPhone.
Gotcha.
From ESPN. Outside of the Lakers, there are currently no known teams planning pursuit of sign and trade for Nets guard Kyrie Irving. So
brilliant.
first of all, not shocked to find most people are not interested in a guy who might at best play half the time.
That's what you want
but
him.
Apparently the Lakers are still in the conversation. I'm curious if you have any thoughts on this.
I'm not a religious man, but for this cause, I could find it upon myself to get on my knees and pray to the sports gods that you please do everything in your power to ensure that we get Kyrie Irving in a Lakers uniform come October. Because if last year's shit show wasn't enough of a fun parade, you throw this man on that team, my God. It's like the sports gods are with us. And I am so here for it, Gabe. I hope for the sake of your favorite team in the NBA that you get Kyrie Irving. It will be fantastic. My goodness, it's going to make Russell Westbrook look like the second coming of Wilt Chamberlain or Bill Russell or anybody great because of how much they wrecked him last season. If you put this guy on here, the dysfunction level, yes, please do it. Do it. Also, how perfect that nobody else wants him and they're like, oh, that makes him hot. Now we want him. No, that's not how this works. I want this. Deadline's Wednesday to decide. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me throw this at you. Conspiracy theory time.
Okay.
What if they know that he's going to cut the BS? And he's like, dude, I got the shot lined up. I'm ready to roll. Let's get back to work and win a ring. What if he's like proven that to them that he's actually going to try?
Less than 0 chance of that happening.
Okay.
Less than 0 chance. His claim to fame and the reason he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, in every room, is because he's always keeping us on our toes, man. Like, we don't know what he's going to do next. He's unpredictable. It's Kyrie. Like, he's never, ever going to play the game because part of the pride in himself is he can't be bothered to play the game that everyone else is playing. He's above that. He's Kyrie. So for me, I want this to happen so bad. It's even better in theory than what happened last season. Like, this would make it even better. And I think last season was almost the perfect storm of hilarious. So, yes. Make it work, Gabe. Are you going to get a Kyrie Irving Lakers jersey?
Nope, probably not.
We're
Easy
gonna get
come,
one
easy
for
go
him.
with the bandwagon fandom, Beadle. I don't have to stick around for this. But let me just throw this at you. Maybe you guys are the meme experts. I'm sure there's a meme for the dude from Princess Bride. What if, Beadle, he wants you to think that he thinks that he won't? It's like, what if this has all been part of the ruse? What
Wow.
if
Like
he
a
finally got what he
reverse?
wanted by making everyone think he's crazy? Yeah.
See, there's no nice way for me to say this. I don't
Go
think
on.
he's that deep. And what I mean by that is, I don't think he's stupid. Don't get me wrong. I don't want that to be attributed to me here. I don't think he's stupid at all. But I don't think he's as deep and well thought out as sometimes he thinks he is. And in order to pull off what you just described, that takes a lot of planning, a lot of looking into the future and like, these are the steps I have to take. And it takes a very special person to be able to do all those things. And I don't think this is him. I think Aaron Rodgers also thinks he's one of those that you just described, and I don't think he is either.
Okay.
I think the people that are those don't tell us that they're those. They just do. And that's why they're great. You're looking at one, guys. You're looking at one.
Damn. We've been had.
Jerome? I'm looking at Jerome right
looking
now.
right at Jerome. I'm looking right
Actually,
at him.
I would buy that.
Okay, what else? What else you got?
Well, I don't know if
Oh,
you've
I would
heard.
buy that in 100 years.
Yeah.
Well,
Jerome
you
is
know who-
planning. What?
LeBron is that smart, so maybe it's 3 layers deep. LeBron
Lord.
got Kyrie to convince everyone he's nuts for a few years to then ultimately...
Did you say LeBron is that smart?
Oh, yeah.
LeBron James.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you must not follow him on Twitter then. He ain't that smart. He ain't that smart. I got to read that shit out loud. Fucking dumbass. Anywho, what else?
Okay. Yep. Great.
Yeah.
I was like, this could devolve quickly. I don't know if you heard, but Arch Manning, grandson of Archie, nephew of Eli and Peyton, son of lesser known but objectively very funny Cooper Manning, announced his commitment to college. And it was not Alabama. It was not Georgia. It was actually Texas, ? So Beadle, is Texas back? Just tell us right now.
I know.
Are they back?
I don't know if it's back. See, this was a topic of conversation around these parts this weekend. I don't think they're back necessarily, but this is a big moment. I will give them that. I think Texas has underperformed and sort of not lived up to what people here, myself included, would want them to be. And maybe this is a turn in the right of, I think that name is enough to bring so much attention and so much more interest from kids that maybe otherwise were writing Texas off already. I'm just personally shocked that a Manning picked Austin. Austin just didn't feel like where a Manning would decide to spend. And granted, I say all of this knowing that it can all change tonight. It can change in the blink of an eye. But it kind of makes me like Arch Manning a lot, because your dads are very sort of conservative, South, all that kind of vibe. And you went with weird-ass Austin. So I'm in on that idea. I hope Steve Sarkisian is still coach long enough to have a chance to do anything with this, because that is a short-lived career. And we'll see. But, yeah, it surprised me in a good way. And I'm stoked for I also am stoked to see how much money this kid makes in college. It's going to be crazy.
Wild.
Could he break records with NIL?
For sure.
I feel like he could, right? It's going to be pretty badass. Yeah, I'm happy for him. Austin's a great town, so 100% in. Hope it works. Because Texas needs to be great again. I said that, didn't I?
I was just in Austin, and there's no cooler place in America than Austin, Texas.
I'm saying.
Vegas is Vegas and has all what it's known for. New Orleans has its whole thing. But Austin is a quieter, chiller version of the best parts of those cities, I think.
Yeah. Look, I'll say this. When I went to school at the University of Texas in Austin, it was 1994 through 1997, and it was slightly less crowded. And it is the only downside right now, but I also think that could be a selling point to a lot of young people, is it's got a real LA vibe going these days, complete with the traffic. And so but I think some people will actually end up loving that. It's just a little oasis in the state of Texas. It's its own animal. And you sort of forget where you are sometimes when you're in Austin versus everything else that surrounds you. So I love that town. God, I hope it works. I hope this isn't just yep, and then he changes his mind the day before.
Well, there's a quarterback situation there, because the big story of the offseason was supposed to be that kid Quinn Ewers going there. That was the big transfer. So now you got the biggest recruit and the biggest transfer both show up in Texas. I don't know how you're going to make that work, but that's why you get paid the big bucks.
Exactly. That's a good problem to have, too. I'm in. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll go to a game. Maybe it's 400 degrees. Probably not. Okay. What else?
I can't really do justice to this. Basically, there was a giant fight at the Angels game. Lifelong Angels fan, as you guys know, so I watch every pitch.
Yep.
Definitely didn't miss this fight. So this brawl breaks out. Guys are throwing punches. Injured guys are getting involved. Big deal. Paige, perhaps I can tag you in here. Explain what happened with the pizza in the dugout, because I'm not sure I get it either.
Great. So this entire thing started because Jesse Winker got hit with a pitch, and this man lost his goddamn mind. And it was benches clearing brawl. Someone threw an entire case of sunflower seeds after the fact. Just huge. But a fan
I
who
did
then
see that.
tweeted this.
Yeah.
Yes. A fan who walked us through this entire process, decided that what Jesse needed, and by the way, as he was leaving, he gave the I'll do them off my camera, the double birds to the entire crowd, which we love for him.
He double birded?
He double birded. That's right. She felt like, you know what this man needs? He needs what everyone needs to make them feel better. He needs pizza. So she hopped on DoorDash and ordered a pizza to the stadium, addressed to him, and this DoorDash angel, because that's what he is, successfully delivered the pizza to him in the locker room. Oh no. I have to leave.
Paige is in the Matrix, everybody. It happened again.
But she's
Paige. That's on me.
She's so happy.
It's on me. I don't know why. I don't know why I was like, go ahead, Paige. You explain this with your 3G Wi-Fi. This 10-minute long story about a fight in a baseball game. You take it.
God, that was awesome. I kept thinking, it's going to clear up now. It's going to clear up.
Jerome, internet's a little better in Canada, along with everything else. What do you got? Can you explain this story?
I should have prepared a lot more for this moment right now.
Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows.
I know what happened.
How did you are the only one who knows?
God, you guys are the worst.
Thank you.
Some kid, girl, whatever, on Twitter ordered a pizza, had it sent to the dugout or the clubhouse, whatever. And he got the pizza and thanked her, and then the delivery guy ends up getting a monster tip because this whole story becomes a thing. What I don't understand is it that easy to send pizzas to professional baseball clubhouses? Like, how does it get there? I feel like we're just burying the lead, or like something's missing in this story. There's no way I could just order pizza and send it to Aaron Judge like today. That's not possible. How did this happen?
You say that, and I mean, I think we know what we're going to try after this recording.
Obviously. Yes.
Yes.
I've got credit cards that need spending.
Right.
Let's do this.
What did I miss first sending a pizza to in the sports world?
Bob Lee.
But we
Chet
can get
Holmgren.
into Bob Lee. That shouldn't
I think
be a
Chet
problem.
Holmgren needs all of our pizzas.
Yes, all the pizzas.
Yeah,
the entire
every pizza left in the
Daily,
world.
from now till the first game.
Chicago deep dish. We're not even going to go do thin because thin is no, that's like a salad.
There's too much thin when it comes to Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, we can't do that. But okay, so this, and the other thing was it was so cleanly like the Twitter person, he thanked that person. Like, how did he even see that? Does he read every comment? Like, so much had to go perfectly here for this story. And maybe I'm just a naysayer, perhaps. But
Are you implying that you think
stage
maybe some
appearance
marketing and PR people were involved in this story, Peter?
I don't know. I just feel like if somebody, put it this way, if somebody tweeted at me, I'm going to send you a pizza, I would never see that comment, much less be able to DM that person and thank them. So, like, did you already know this person? Were you following each other, Sophie, if that is in fact your name? Something's up, guys. Paige, do you have any insight onto how this thing is not real? Never mind, she can't even talk to us. What kind of bullshit? What is wrong with your internet?
That was just mean beats.
This is my favorite part about doing this show. It is the best part of the show is how unprofessional and stupid we are at the only thing we're supposed to do. Just record people's voices.
How? How is this possible that you have zero internet access? By the way, what did the tip end up being? Because apparently it was ginormous. I'm going to find out.
Let's find this out.
Oh, God. And by the way, Gabe, you're going to like this. I did see this. There's a 7-year-old girl in attendance at this game. Have you seen this story?
No, nothing.
Abigail Courtney.
Okay.
1 year and 8 days earlier, she'd gone to her first ever Major League game to see her beloved Reds play in San Diego, only to have Joey Votto ejected in the first inning, which left her crying, and we all saw it. Because that's how the world is now. You can't cry without us all knowing about it. Votto, I can never say his name. He signed a baseball, sent it to her, blah, 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 blah. They invited her back 2 days later, and she met him, and it was all great. Until this weekend. Guess who was in attendance at this Mariners-Angels game to see Jesse Winker and Suarez play? And it happened again. Ejected after having a giant fight. This chick is some sort of bad luck, and I don't want to be around her. But she's crying again, by the way, and got more signed autograph stuff. By the way, I'm calling this too. This is a con. These are all cons. This whole game's full of cons.
Sorry. Let me just make sure I understand what you're saying.
This is all the same game.
There was a 7-year-old girl who wanted to see Joey Votto. She showed up to the park with her family, He got ejected. She cried. They became friends. Nice story. A year later, she shows up, different park, different team, rooting for a new player. That guy gets ejected. She cries, becomes friends, and we're supposed to just go along with this? And you're implying that you think she's some kind of a curse, this 8-year-old?
Yep. I think she's a curse and or in on it, and I don't like it. In this day of TikToks and whatnots, nobody's real. All of these are ploys. All of it's all planned out. Give me a break. And they got like this very unassuming little 7-year-old to like play the role, cry, what have you. So then we got the delivery guy. I just want to know how much the tip was because they're making it sound like it was life-changing. All right. Sunday night, he estimated between 300 and 400 people had donated to his tip box. You can do that? Huh. But they don't tell you how much.
They put up his Venmo directly. And then so it went viral from that at that point.
This story has so much in it. So many pieces and moving parts that are supposed to tug at the heartstrings and yet do not.
I'm still sort of focused on the 8-year-old Jinx girl that you're implicating here.
Yeah, Abigail Courtney.
Well, I'm starting to think that maybe in addition to Joey Votto and Jesse Winker, she's a big fan of Paige's internet, and so she gets that too.
Look at Paige. Paige is frozen.
She'll hear that in 5 seconds.
Yeah, so apparently you can order pizza and have it sent. But only reason it got to him, I think, is because this delivery driver, Simranjit Singh, who is like went above and beyond his actual job. That's why I think he's the only part of this story that I'm like, cool. The rest of it I call BS.
Yeah.
Including Courtney, Abigail Courtney. This little girl is a con artist if I ever saw one. What else? Paige, why are you even still here?
Here, thank God Paige is back. Thank God she's back for this topic because she's been so enlightening on this when we've talked about it in the past. Top Gun Maverick passed $1
I'm just
billion.
Gonna hang around just in case.
Billion
Stick
with
around.
a B?
Billion with a B. Stick around, Jerome. Question for the panel. How many times have you gone back and seen Top Gun again? Have you gone again? How did we get to $1 billion this fast?
I haven't yet, and I do plan it. I was actually driving through the theater parking lot the other day, and I thought about it. Because it's that good. Because I do think a lot of people have seen it multiple times, and then they go back with friends that hadn't seen it. It's $1 billion. We're not even in July. That's impressive.
I haven't gone back to see it. Technically, I have not paid yet to see it.
Okay, so that's not something you're supposed to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, no.
So you stole your way into the theater?
No. No. No, we don't do that in Canada.
Well, you probably don't have to. You probably get the movies for free.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
subsidized
We
there.
walked
It's
up
free,
and we're just like,
movies.
"Hi, how's it going there, eh?" And they're like, "Oh, come right through. Come see the new Top Gun movie there, eh?"
Eh? Yeah, $1 billion. I could see that. I could see it passing $1 billion because I've heard nobody say anything bad about it yet.
Yeah,
I know I look for that.
Paige, maybe you should go back and see it again because AMC theaters have free Wi-Fi in the
Oh,
lobby.
yeah.
Oh.
Could you do it Wednesday so we could do the podcast clearly?
Yeah. Just set
Do
up
it from a theater?
like we'll record like late AM and then you could see it like a midday showing.
We're really
like
gonna
this
test
plan.
Q's limits of being able to edit out. Turn off your fucking laptop.
He can do it. Q can do anything. I have faith in that. I have faith. God. Have you seen it again?
I have not seen
How
it
many times
again.
have you seen it, Gabe? Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it again. I've convinced a few people to see it. Here's the next one I think I want to see. I need to know if you guys are interested. Could we talk about it on this show? If I bother to see the Elvis movie.
Ugh.
Ooh.
No? Not in on
I
that?
thought you were going to say Thor. I'll see Thor.
I'll see
I'll
Thor.
see Thor. Yeah.
I ain't seeing no Elvis movie. Most overrated singer in the history of music.
The
Whoa,
Bob
whoa.
Berman side of it is
Hard
interesting.
pass. Hey, guess what? Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra walked in a room. Is any talent in the room? Question, answer, no. None. One's a lounge singer and one just stole music from an entire culture of people. Garbage and just a big fat bastard who died on a toilet. P.S. Best part about him.
Wait a minute. No, we can't just let that pass.
Yeah,
I'm not
overrated.
even going to bother trying to argue the Elvis point. I disagree, but whatever. Sinatra gets dragged here? Why did he get involved?
Sinatra's hot garbage. And now that I know about his ties to the mafia more than I did, Super dark.
Now that you know?
Well, I didn't realize how in it he was. I knew he was because there's a bar in Chicago called Jilly's that was like a mob hangout that Frank Sinatra bought for his bodyguard back in the day. So like I knew, but I didn't know. And either way, it doesn't matter. It makes more sense to me now because his voice was never that great. So the allure was all this other crap. He basically just strong-armed his way into a musical career, but in reality, the voice was average on its best day. And if you guys want to come at me with some proof, some demos, some cuts without all the crap, like bring them to me. I will listen to them with open mind. But I am very confident in saying I think Frank Sinatra is highly overrated. Highly.
Okay, I've known you for a long time. I've heard almost everything you think about pop culture. This is mind-blowing to me.
No. Do you think he has a good voice?
Frank Sinatra?
Do you think it's weird then
yes,
that every
I have
lounge
ears.
act can do it? Every lounge act in the world can do a Frank Sinatra. They can't do an Adele. They can't do a Whitney Houston. But they can do a Frank Sinatra. Why? Because it's average. Shut up.
I feel like I'm on the moon already.
I'm just saying, I would love to be corrected here, but I have yet to come across a snippet of music that made me go, wow, who's that angelic voice of? And it was never, ever answered Frank Sinatra. And he's dead now, so I probably won't get offed. So I'm sure I'm fine.
This take is almost too wild.
What? This is I am not the only one who thinks this.
I don't think it's a wild take. Like, I haven't thought about Frank Sinatra nearly this much than the last 2 minutes, but it's not really the wildest take, especially if you factor in his success being at least somewhat credited toward the mob.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You had to like him or else you disappeared.
Have you ever been at a Yankee game when they win?
Yes, I've been to a Yankee game when they win.
Okay, and you're telling me that song kicks on and you don't feel something?
You think it's the song, the voice in the song, or the song?
I think it's the voice in the song. They could switch if they want. They could switch to Alicia Keys and Jay-Z.
That's a real voice, yeah.
They could go to Empire State of Mind, but you know what? They don't because they got Frank Sinatra playing over the loudspeakers.
No, they don't because the average baseball fan is in their 50s and 60s, and they're going to hold on to this stupid tradition for as long as they possibly can. Eventually, when we have a total rollover of generations, we can start playing good music again. But until then, I guess we'll do these traditional things. But I'd rather hear Alicia Keys sing. I'd rather hear Alicia Keys sing like The Phone Book to me. Anything than Frank Sinatra's overrated voice. And P.S., it's not his voice that makes that song traditional. It's the song itself. Everybody knows that song, but not because of him.
That's Elvis, starring Austin Butler in theaters now.
But no, yeah, you should go see Elvis. I mean, Tom Hanks is in it. There's a selling point.
There you go.
I didn't think we'd end up here today.
How many episodes has it been, Gabe, that you're still surprised where we end up?
I don't get why you think this is like far-fetched.
Because normally when you have crazy opinions, I am with you on them. I agree. So what's surprising me now is how far apart we are on one of the crazier things I've ever heard you said.
Fine. When we post this podcast, we're going to put a poll with it.
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra, overrated or highly overrated? Boom. Vote. And we're going to find out what America thinks. Because I know...
Is Frank Sinatra a better athlete than F1?
Is he elite?
Wow.
All right. We'll just put it to a vote. You know what? And we'll see what happens. But I feel pretty confident that it won't be as crazy as you think it is.
Okay. I believe in democracy. I want to hear what the people think.
Yeah. Well, at least somebody does. Okay. Anything else?
I think it's time for a break.
It's all right. No. Yes. Take a break. Because I do know what's coming up next, and I can't wait. Okay. I think we figured out who can speak and who cannot, as they're limited by their internet signal. So, Jerome, do us the honors of the best story of the week, please.
So, the world is on fire, but here is a bright spot. We have come upon Fat Bear Week. It is exactly what it sounds like. We are voting for the fat. Yeah. Oh, right.
But go on.
Fat bear, in parentheses, the animal week. We are voting for the fattest bear available. And I mean, this is perfect for the pod because we all remember Hank the Tank.
Yes.
Well, right now, so brown bears in Alaska's Katmai National Park have emerged from hibernation and will now get fat on salmon. They have to consume a year's worth of food in 6 months.
That's
which
amazing.
honestly sounds like the dream.
Like I do that all the time.
Right.
I do like a week's worth of food in a day easily.
Right. I'm fresh off the weekend.
Same.
And who we have in the lead right now is Bear 747, aka Bear Force One, who has emerged as a favorite this year. Beads, we couldn't actually start the segment because you were stuck staring at Bear Force One.
I'm in love with him. His face, he's seen some things, like you can see in his eyes. Mm-hmm. He's got soul. He's just a beautiful, beautiful creature. And I love him so much. And I don't even think he's fat. And I think that's rude, by the way, to say that he is. I think he's big-boned and perfectly proportioned for his size. Look at his face. Don't you just want, like...
And the walkway, too. It's really beautiful.
It's crazy to think that, like, he could eliminate me in a half of a second. But when I look at him, I just think he and I could be best friends. And that's what I wish.
There was a whole movie made about a guy who thought that. It didn't go well.
It went well for a minute. Until it didn't.
Fun fact from Paige, who, again, is so sad that she can't be a part of this.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Opposite to all of us who have been in a 2-year pandemic, bears typically lose 33% of their body weight in hibernation, and yet Bear Force One is still this massive.
I love that so much for him.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. What a bizarre life cycle a bear has. It's like live, eat, sleep, do it again. Like
sounds like the right idea to me.
Right? Like go out there, eat a year's worth of food in 6 months to sleep another 6 months or whatever it is. And then just, I mean, my God, what a perfect life.
So I should know this because I'm old and I have children who ask me these kinds of questions all the time.
No.
But maybe you guys know. So when they're not hibernating, when they're just out eating, are bears up like 24 hours a day? Are they just partying nonstop for 6 months?
No.
Or do bears also sleep in their awake
at night
time? Yeah. Is a bear like, that's enough?
I love that. I love that you could come up from that long of a sleep and then just kind of be like 6 hours outside and then just like, ugh.
Right?
Oh.
That's enough.
Okay, let me just read you a quick blurb.
Yeah.
Bears hibernate during the winter, but they aren't sleeping the whole time. Oh. Hibernation for bears simply means they don't need to eat or drink and rarely urinate or defecate, or not at all, which, by the way, we got that in common. Am I right, bears? There is strong evolutionary pressure for bears to stay in their dens during winter if there's little or no food available. But where do they sleep at night? They sleep for an hour or two after dusk and awake half an hour before dawn. They'll also take a snooze once or twice a day. My God, bears have the perfect life. The perfect life. I'm
so
coming back as a bear.
here's the problem I got with bears these days.
Oh, brother.
So the thing about like kids' books is bears are portrayed, in very positive light. Bears are your friend. Bears are like walking around talking to humans.
Much like Frank Sinatra.
Yep.
Yes.
No.
Exactly.
No.
But if you have kids who might actually interact with a real life bear one day, you have to sort of explain to them like, no, they're not actually that nice. You don't want to be friends with
Not every child
is
Christopher Robin.
Look, man.
Exactly.
If you're asking us for parenting tips, I'm here to tell you I ain't got none for you. Okay?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to start explaining all inanimate objects and real life animal relationships with humans, good luck with every single Disney movie in the history of time. A candlestick was speaking in Beauty and the Beast. Now, how am I going to explain that to the kids? I don't know. You can't put your finger on that candle. It will burn you.
Living
but in
Fire
the movie, it's
singing,
adorable.
Be Our Guest.
Yeah, be our guest, put our service to the test. Put a napkin round your neck, shall we, and we will do the rest.
We get it. You sing better than Frank Sinatra.
Everybody does, okay, buddy? Everybody does. So, yeah, But you're right. Every bear they're all considered cuddly and cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is one of the most common childhood toys? It's a teddy bear.
That's true. I still have one from childhood.
Sleep with a bear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What? So that is weird. How did we get here?
Actually, Teddy Roosevelt has something to do with that.
Oh.
Yeah, Teddy.
He does. They named it after. It was a toy. This is true, Paige. I know you're looking at me and Frozen from 9 minutes ago in the past, so you might be reacting to the NHL story we did, but teddy bears are named after Teddy Roosevelt. And I don't remember the reason, but I heard it on a podcast.
You're literally the worst American I've ever talked to in my whole life. You just did the one thing we all do all the time. Yeah. You're like, I know I saw that one headline once, but I don't know anything else about it.
I just heard 2 comedians talking about it, and now I'm repeating it to you guys.
There you go.
With even less information.
Well, yeah, because it looks like a man.
The glasses on teddy bears are in honor of Teddy Roosevelt's glasses. He had an affection for bears. He was a naturalist.
Nope.
This is true.
No, this is true. After he refused to shoot a bear during a Mississippi hunting trip in November of 1902.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, and the glasses?
Yeah.
So Teddy Roosevelt was our first presidential furry?
Kind of. Well, we don't know if he was the first. But
yeah, probably not the first.
Oh, because somebody cornered and stunned a black bear for him to shoot, and he didn't because he's not a pussy. That's why. You don't hunt like that, dudes. God, fish in a barrel. Don't get me started.
So then they started making teddy bears because of
That's actually adorable.
See, I made us a little smart. It was indirect, but
kind of.
You got us there.
You took us to the path, and then we walked to the path.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
What 6 months of the year are you going into hibernation if you get to do that?
Well, what state do I live in?
Pick your state as well if you like.
All right. If I live in New York City, I'm going to hibernate January through June.
So you're just in time for the Knicks not being in the NBA Finals.
Well, yeah, basically, yeah. Right. I get to avoid the winters. I mean, I still have to do August, but that's all right. I can make it. I'll go to the Hamptons like every other good bear.
So you wanted to be there for like Christmas?
Yeah, I love Christmas in New York.
All right. And you go, okay. Yeah, that's not bad. What about in Texas?
I mean, it's hot as balls here. It's been triple digits for like 2 months already. So I guess I'm hibernating like 11 months of the year. And I'm going to stay alive during December. And that's it.
Okay.
Paige has texted me to let me know, in a real commitment to the bit, she has decided that her internet is in hibernation for this entire segment.
Your internet hasn't even... I mean, it is... Like, you're going to get fired, Paige. You know that, right? It's the one requirement to have internet.
Yeah. Fun fact, Paige typically loses 33% of her bandwidth during hibernation.
Like, it's brutal.
In a What Did I Miss podcast.
God, we should do an entire podcast where we just stare at Paige and see how many stories she can get out in its entirety. Is that it for us, you guys? Because now I'm going to go stare at pictures of Bear Force One for probably a good hour and a half.
I think
to
that's
really
it.
just get the
Gabe?
bad taste out of my mouth.
I have nothing else other than I would just like to tell people you're welcome for the dumbest episode we've ever done.
Easily.
And hopefully you clicked play and that was what you wanted today.
Also understand that there is no ceiling that we cannot break through.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
More stupidity.
Yeah, we can definitely outdo ourselves, but we have another one coming up this week. Lucky you! And voicemails and texts, tell us why you think Frank Sinatra is one of the most overrated singers of all times. 631-397-0403. And if you really want to go for it, why don't you throw in Elvis as well? My God. The bar is so low. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, Jerome, Gabe, and sort of Paige.